So those are the two that we have.
Two criminal cases. All right. Any preference on Stumbo or Smith first? Okay. Ms. Reiser, can you hear us?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Oh, because I had some issues yesterday with people being able to hear. And I think I do need a waiver placed on the record, if you could, Ms. Reiser.
Okay, I will do my best. The Washtenaw County Prosecutor's Office waives any potential conflict that may exist between Your Honor and the Public Defender's Office. We do not believe that any conflicts do exist, but to the extent that there are any, we would waive them.
You did a wonderful job on that.
Thank
Ms.
you.
Reed, can you?
Likewise, we do not believe that any conflicts exist at this time.
All right, and the court for its part also does not believe that a conflict exists either under Michigan court rules or the cases decided thereunder. To the extent a conflict does exist, given the waivers, the court will consent to hear the papers. Court does call the case of the People versus. It's not that one. Bogarted her way up. Maria Stumbo.
Solana Reed, Assistant Public Defender with and on behalf of Ms. Stumbo.
Good morning, Your Honor. Patricia Reiser, First Assistant Prosecuting Attorney on behalf of the people.
All right, what are we doing on this case?
I do not believe we have a complaining.
Oh, this is date and time set for trial? It is.
Yes,
All right. And there is no complaining witness here. Is that correct, Ms. Raza?
I do not know.
So just so that we're clear on that, there was an issue this morning and I'm having Ms. Reiser, I'm permitting Ms. Reiser to appear because the prosecutor normally assigned to the courtroom fell ill, was ill this morning. And so I allowed that to happen. She said one of the cases prior to my making the decision, she said one of the cases was a plea. The other, they didn't know what would happen.
yes.
And frankly, in my mind, I said, if that one was ready to proceed, then I was going to adjourn it because I wasn't going to place whoever was appearing. I did not know that if it was Ms. Reiser or not. Whoever was appearing, I wasn't going to place them in that position. And I do the same thing for the defense, particularly given what's around out there. So go ahead, Ms. Reiser.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. One of the victim advocates is texting me, and apparently because this case was resolved, there was an agreement that the complaining witness could be called off and not appear today. So my understanding is that there was going to be a plea to disorderly person with an agreement for anger management classes.
And she is willing to accept that plea if the people were ready to.
Well, she's shaking her head no, although you're saying that. Go ahead. I mean, I know it's all confusing, but you got to let me know.
Well, she's not here. Why would I be charged with anything?
Because they thought that it was resolved, called her off, as I'm to understand now from what Ms. Reiser.
She lied and said she was in the hospital last time and wasn't in court.
Okay, ma'am. I can only go on what people are telling me. So my understanding, and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, that there was an agreement as to what would happen today. And that was there was going to be some type of plea agreement. Given that the parties had agreed to that, the prosecutor's office called off the writ, which is a normal process. And then you would come down and do what you were going to do. If that's not what you wish to do, that's fine, but I would give a new date because each party acted in reliance upon what they thought was going to happen. But if that's not what you want to do.
No, I think that it's fair on my behalf that she has to be here. I mean, I got my notice that I had to be here.
Okay.
So why did I get my notice? And
because you're the one that has to enter the plea.
okay.
But if that's not, Ms. Demo, look, if that's not what you want to do, I'm not going to force you to do that. I mean, apparently there may have been a misunderstanding as to what would exactly happen. But that is a normal practice. If the parties agree to everything, we don't bring people down just for the sake of bringing them down. And so they'll call off their witnesses. We enter the plea, we do it probably 100 times every month.
When I talked to this lady here yesterday, I said, if she doesn't show up, it's gonna be thrown out. She's like, yes. So she's not here yet again.
Okay,
I'm
but
ready.
she's not here this time. And I agree with you
understand that,
before.
but I don't-
Look, here's what we're going to do. If you want to just do it this way, because every time I get into an argument with you because you want to do something some way, and I'm telling you it doesn't work that way. So what I will do is I'm going to adjourn it to a trial date. Everybody be here. I'll just try the case because that would be easier for me than to try to explain this to you and you not listen and then have to explain it again. Don't shake your head at me because that's what you're doing.
Sorry, it's a nervous reaction. So we try. Yeah, whatever. I'm not.
All right.
I'm just gonna-
Then what I'm going to do is
She's
I'm
willing
going.
to make the plea, Robert.
I'm not doing it because I'm not doing it today. Because apparently there is some misunderstanding of what should occur. I had this same problem the last time. She said she's in the hospital. I don't know if she's in the hospital or not, but I get in, Ms. Stumbo wants to fight with me because I'm just saying what I know. And then I get here today, I explain it, still wants to fight with me about it. And I'm not doing that. So I'll just give you an adjourned trial day. What is it?
Which one?
January 25th, 2023, 9 a.m. in person. And now if you guys work it out and you have it in writing, signed by everybody, that their witnesses don't have to be there, she wants to take that plea, then I'll do it. But unless it's in writing, I'm not doing it because I'm not going through this again. I'm done. Bond continue. Court calls it. Better be careful with my doors. Court calls the case, People versus Rashad Smith.
Patricia Reiser on behalf of the people.
Savannah Reed, Assistant Public Defender, within on behalf of Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith, can you state your name for the record?
Rashad Smith.
You got anything you want to say? No, I'm just messing with you. I'm sorry.
So this is the case that was unknown. I had not had contact with him. I did speak with him prior to court.